Yes, now welcome back to episode 54 of the Top Blooded podcast. And surprisingly, my voice is actually recovered because I had no voice all day. So this is fantastic. It's going to be a very weird episode. But Harry, how are we doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you, Ronnie, mate. Not too bad. Um, you know, going into the weekend, Fulham away tomorrow. Recording this on the Saturday, so yeah, hopefully we can retain that 5 point gap at the top of the table. But other than the suspense killing me, yeah, I'm not doing too badly, mate. How are you?
Yeah, can't complain at all. And like I said, we were just speaking before this and was like, it's already a quarter of the way through the year, which is pretty crazy. We're closing in on officially a quarter way through, and we was like, A, where the hell the time's gone. B, is the London Card Show in like 4 weeks' time, which
Yeah,
seems like we've literally just finished the last one. So we thought the best way we set ourselves 10 New Year's resolutions in the card world at the beginning of the year, and we thought let's see how we're getting on. Whether there's any we want to adapt, or any we've completed, or any created too. So we'll run through our 1 to 10, one in a time. So we're starting off with your number one. Obviously, these were in no actual order. It was just like the 10 that we done. So your first one was find the to 5 and to 10 of Steiner. So you gave yourself a bit more work with that one rather than just having find the to 5 for one and find the number 10 for two, which I would have done to just cheapskate it. You went
yeah.
and done that. So we know there's the progress on this one, which is a great start. So give an update for the people who might not know.
Yeah, so very much grateful to Mr. RP for his great detective skills on eBay. Managed to send me a listing for the black to 10 of the Gunther Steiner. So managed to pick that up and get that shipped all over from the US. So that is now in the display cabinet, ready to rock and roll for the final missing puzzle piece, which is the red to 5. I have had absolutely zero luck. It's actually painful at this point. Yeah, nothing on eBay, nothing on Facebook, nothing on a Discord, nowhere. No recent sales. Don't even know if one exists. So yeah, I'm still very much trying to hunt down to 5 Gunther Steiner from 2021 flagship to complete the rainbow. It could take a day, it could take a month, it could take a year. At this point, I actually don't know. So yeah, my aim is to put out there as much as I can to as many eyes out there as I can to say if anyone sees one come up or anyone think gets pulled, obviously I'll be the first person they come to. But yeah, I mean I'm very, very pleased to have had the 10. I thought that was going to be a bit of a long slog as well. But yeah, the 10 is now in possession. It is just the red to 5 left to go. So yeah, hopefully it won't take me too long, but who knows at this point.
I was going to say it's one of the best things and worst things is that you just never know. Like it's weird how, like you say, you've got the one of one, which is technically speaking the hardest one to fight. Obviously, people don't really include printing plate, but one of one. It's weird then that there's something that's 5 times more common, but it might just never appear. But that's the beauty of it. That, like you say, it can take one day, it could take 5 years, it could take a week. You just don't know. Or it could be one of them as simple as you go to the next London Card Show and someone's just got it in one of their flick throughs. Like it's like a needle in a haystack.
I mean, I'd be surprised if I found a Steiner to 5 red in a flick through box. If it's a £3, mate, I'm all over that. But yeah, I can't imagine it unfortunately being a £5 under flick through box, but one can certainly dream.
Oh yeah, I could just imagine like being the other side of Sandown, probably like outside, just getting some fresh air, and I just hear a massive scream from inside, and I'm thinking like someone's just hit like an absolute monster. And it's just you finding the Gunther to 5 in the flick through.
That would pretty much sum up my expression if I was to find one.
I think that's gonna be the thing is we're gonna have to slap a GoPro on your chest now at all times at the card show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just in case
Pretty
it
much.
comes up. But moving on to my number one, which was I got very lucky with this one, which was I originally listed it as buy a Dennis Bergkamp auto, but lucky enough for me, 2 weeks into 2023, I did get the Dennis Bergkamp auto from Deco, which sorted me right out. Rather than paying the £100 or whatever it was, it should have cost me. It cost me about £12. So that was lovely for me and put a massive smile on my face. So Oh, it's not too bad so far. I've ticked one off, and you've got half a tick. So
Yeah.
we should probably stop now while we're ahead. But I think I'll go with my second one now, and this is actually happened. Most people don't know if it has, but it actually has a great some of my Wenger collection. I have got them slabbed up now, sitting tightly in my case. Did get 5 graded from 87, 86, 286s, 187, 188, 189, 190, or whatever the 5 was. One of them has left the collection to our good friend L_Trade Soccer for his Wenger collection. And yeah, so that's actually gone. I've ticked that one off already, which has been absolutely fantastic. So it's a great start from me here. And then your next one, which was a bit different one, which is in the card world, but something that I think the algorithm is not helping you with, which is reach 2,000 Instagram followers, because it's like getting blood out of a rock at the moment on Instagram, getting followers and traction on anything.
Yeah, it was just sort of a point of trying to build the platform and sort of build my social aspect of things. But yeah, I seem to be getting more unfollowers than I do followers. So but it's all part of it. Yeah, the algorithm's not really playing in my favor at the moment. But it's not all about the followers to a degree. It's more just about the content you post and just doing what you enjoy doing. So hitting a 2,000 landmark by the end of the year would obviously be a massive bonus. But it's not the build and end all, and I still keep posting what I want to post. And if people want to follow me, then please do. But yeah, it's one of those things that's probably the lowest down on my priority list in terms of getting it ticked off for this year. But yeah, it'd obviously be a nice bonus if I was to manage to hit that by the latter end of this year. But yeah, the algorithm's not playing ball at the moment.
They're saying another big bonus for the PC for you would be: have you managed to pick up an Arsenal 1-of-1? I've actually not seen many come up this year in general. Normally, I see quite a few being in all the Arsenal groups, but there hasn't been many 1-on-1s yet, actually.
No, I've not really seen. I've got like a eBay notification come up, obviously with it's like Arsenal 1-of-1s, but it seems to be a lot of either tickets or programs where it's like the first to the first.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of the things. It's like, oh great, 2 new listings. I'm like, yep, 2 new match programs. So yeah, I mean, 1-of-1s are a rarity anyway, obviously given the population, but usually, I said we usually see a couple every now and again on any Arsenal pages or Instagram or any other platforms. But it's been a bit of a stalemate at the moment. We've not really found too many. I think the last one I saw was a Ramsdale 1-of-1, but obviously from Qatar Prism, so obviously an England shirt. I think the one prior to that was a Party 1-of-1 from Prism, I believe it was, and that was right at the start of the year, if not the latter end of last year. So yeah, I'm not having, unfortunately, too much luck at the moment trying to locate an Arsenal 1-of-1. But like with the Gunther signer to 5, I'm sure it'd be like a bus. You'd have none for ages, and you'll have 4 come at once. So yeah, we keep being patient, we keep waiting, and hopefully the time comes we can manage to pick up my first Arsenal 1-of-1, even a printing plate. I mean, I'm happy taking that and claiming that as a 1-of-1. But the show goes on, and hopefully we manage to pick one up in the not too distant future. We've got London on the horizon as well now, so being there for both days, the whole weekend. Hopefully, I'll manage to be able to find something at least to sort of go towards that. But yeah, show goes on, and hopefully we'll manage to find something soon.
Well, fingers crossed when the Project 22s come through your letterbox, you get a nice little 1-on-1 in there. That would save you.
If I find one of the dark yellow Topps envelopes, that same reaction if I was to find the Gunther to 5 would come up.
And that's when you realise Topps just run out the normal envelopes and they've just done you over.
It wouldn't be my luck.
I could just imagine getting that gold envelope from it. Oh my god, parallel, and then oh wait a minute, no, that's my luck, because I'll probably get it. It's someone I've ordered for a mate, and I'll be like, oh great, it's not for me. Like,
yeah,
that's definitely bound to happen.
That sums up our luck, doesn't it?
Yeah. And moving on, next one for me was pick up a Neymar Santos sticker or a Neymar Auto. Actually, I've picked up a WCCF PSA 7, which is in my case behind me. If I was prepared like a good podcaster, I would have it all ready, but I haven't. But I actually have one prepared, which is in a pickup, which I'll be showing later on. But I think with Neymar, especially sadly now he's been ruled out for the rest of the season, which is a shame to see. But I've already noticed his price is going down slightly because obviously he won't be really back in action until September, which is a big shame. But hopefully prices go down a little bit more and I can start picking up some things that I still think he's one of the most overlooked players in European football. But it's a bit like Marmite, I think, with him. You either love him or you hate him. And
Yeah.
personally, I'm a massive Neymar fan. And moving on to number 4. So far, I've got 3 ticks, which I'm very pleased about here. Probably shows that I should be doing other things with my life, but it doesn't really matter. So moving on to my number 4, and I've actually ticked this one off as well. This is going great. Pick up an early Philip Lahm sticker. So I was looking at his rookie sticker, but actually gained a bit of value recently, which I was surprised about. I think his rookie one in like PSA 8, I see do about $80. So I picked up his second year for £8. I thought I couldn't go wrong for that. So in the long run, it will be upgraded to a rookie, but for the time being, £8 for his second year. That would do me nicely. And your number 4, which actually got a nice little tick next to this one, which was by a Thierry Henry Auto.
Yeah, was very, very fortunate to have picked one up at the last London Card Show, which I'm sure you have all seen on the London Card Show preview. Not the preview, the aftermath, and obviously my Instagram probably as well, and my Instagram from last night where I posted up that card that you'll never sell. Yeah, also it was a Mosaic Auto PSA 9 Auto 10 in a red slab mag, sitting nice and beautifully on my display on the nice little London Card Show stand. So yeah, I was very pleased to have picked one of those up at the last show. He did have a nice matching Dennis Bergkamp auto from Mosaic as well next to it, which if it's still there at London next month, I might have to go and get Thierry Henry, his little partner. But no, yeah, that's a massive, massive tick next to that one. Very pleased, very happy, and it's one that will be staying with me for a very, very long time. One of those ones I've been after for a while. I've got a lot of Thierry Henry nice stickers from sort of his first few years at Arsenal, but yeah, very pleased to have finally picked up an auto. And arguably, in my opinion, probably one of his nicest cards in terms of the picture. I know a lot of pictures from Henry's autos are overused. A lot of them are using the same sets. But yeah, to get the one from Mosaic, I was very, very happy with a nice PSA 9 Auto 10, obviously in that red slab mag as well. So that will be staying with me for a long time.
I was going to say, it's a really... I think Mosaic is one of them sets, because it's not the most desirable one. People overlook it, because like you say, I think his image on it is really good. In comparison to especially some of the other images you get for autos in like Prism, they're never really the best one. So actually, like you say, I think that's a really good one. If you can get his partner in crime to go alongside him, Mr. Bergkamp, I think that would be unbelievable, especially like you say, the red slab mag as well just makes it that bit extra
sweeter.
special. Yeah, it's like you've got protection on the protection of a card, so it's double secured up. So who knows, there might be a slab mag for a slab mag soon. But moving on to the next one, which I'm not going to make you jealous, but number 5 for you is by a Bukayo Saka Pitch King.
Yeah, I mean, I think I wanted to adjust that and put in Buy a Saka Pitch King / Color Blast from Obsidian, because they're the two at the moment that I'm really hunting for, and I'm hoping to pick up one of those at London next month. But yeah, they're very much a rarity at the moment, obviously with how well he's playing in the league. I'm not going to jinx it, but the likelihood of us potentially becoming league champions again, obviously, he's putting a bit of a prospect on the price of that card as well. So it's one of the things you don't see them come up very often, and when you do, obviously they are probably going for a bit more than they should, given the rarity and given how scarce they are in terms of coming on the market. But yeah, I'm very much keeping my options open in terms of trying to find one. I know our good friend F1 Car Collectors did have one, Golden Generation, did have one available that he unfortunately sold at the last show. I was gambling on that one still being available. So yeah, we roll on, roll the punches, and hopefully one manages to crop up soon. Ideally PSA graded, or in other aspects, the Obsidian Color Blast, which I'm really torn between which one to go for. So yeah, I think the first one that comes up at a good price, that's me ticking that one off.
I was going to say, yeah, 2 excellent cards. Obviously, Pitch Kings is quite an iconic one for Saka. But then the Colour Blast goes under the radar, I would say, quite a bit for Saka. It's such a nice card, Colour Blast, as well. Obviously, because it was in Obsidian, so it was the black background one as well. It does pop really well. But like I said, I don't really see many of them cards, especially non-stateside. I see a few in the States, but don't seem to be many over in the UK. But I think what it is with Arsenal is basically when someone buys it, it goes in the collection. That's what it is with Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 5 Colour Blasts that are on eBay at the moment are all in the US, or in China. I think there's one of them in. And yeah, like you said, most Arsenal collectors out there that are collecting the Colour Blast, the Pitch Kings, are Arsenal collectors that then keep them in the PC. So yeah, it's been quite difficult, I think, to get hold of one, and obviously at probably the market price. So yeah, we have to keep searching. I mean, I've got, I don't know how many saved searches on my eBay right now. Every half an hour I get a ping come through with something else being listed. So it's never the right one. It's always a different one. But yeah, hopefully in the not too distant future, I'm hoping by the end of by the time I get to London, at least either the Gunther to 5, the Pitch Kings, or a Colour Blast has cropped up somewhere. But time will tell.
Yeah, moving on to my next one, which I have half ticked off, is get a Ronaldinho slab sticker. What is, I didn't realise when I actually set this one, actually how little of them actually pop up. So I've managed to pick one up in the States, which is nice and sitting in my PO box, waiting for it to come over. If it comes over anytime soon, I do not know. But that is sitting there collecting dust, saying, why am I slabbed up yet? It's because I can't be bothered to ship it over because there's only like 6 things in there. Moving on to my number 6, and this one is a long way off. I did set myself a grade in 20 Granit Xhaka cards, and I'm still on 0. I've got the 20 cards. I've got about 55 cards, but do need to start sending some of them off. Probably will get some off. Probably May time, probably start doing it in the lull of the season. Don't have to pay for away games every week and a bit and everything else. So one of them will happen. And the funny thing is, I was like, I'll get 20 graded Xhaka, and I was like, I could buy Granit Xhaka card. No one grades Granit Xhaka. I'm convinced that I'm the only person in the world who's thinking of it, because I do not see many graded Xhaka cards pop up. I know obviously you look for Arsenal ones as well. I swear every Xhaka card out there is raw.
Yeah, I think I've seen one. I think on eBay maybe. I think it's a Topps Gold. But yeah, it's a lot of the time. It's very rare you'll find a Granit Xhaka card that is slabbed in one way or another, and if they are, they're yours. So
yeah, but yeah, if they're not mine, then someone's probably already DM'd me saying I've got this card. Do you?
Or someone's sent you the story, or someone's already put you in the loop somewhere.
It is fantastic. As soon as there's a Xhaka card, anyone buys it, collects it, or anything, I get DM the next minute saying, "Look, do you want to buy this Granit Xhaka off me?" Because they just see a massive glowing sign above my head, like, oh, he's gonna. And the funny thing is, 2 years ago, everyone come to me because I was the only one buying it. Now I've got competition, which is even worse. I've got competition to buy his cards now. Moving on from Mr. Granit Xhaka, and for me, it's number 7, which is by Jens Lehmann also, which they are coming down a lot in price. I was debating the other day whether to hold off until the Impeccable History on-card auto comes down a bit in price.
Oof, yeah.
It's one of them that's the on-card Arsenal ones, especially the Impeccables, are a decent price. I think I've seen it about 100 area, which is still good for that card. So we're going to keep an eye out. Hopefully it might be in the new set of Impeccable. We could be in another new set coming out that you just don't know. And then probably his Mosaic auto is probably going to come down in price as well to a reasonable price. Might be in Prism again because you've seen Club Legends before. So another one there, we're just waiting it to play out, let the prices drop a little bit more, and then there'll be one of them added to the collection. And moving on to your one, which is kind of for the both of us anyway, but reach 1,000 followers on Top Load Podcast, which I think is going to be quite similar to your 2,000 follower one.
Yeah. Yes. It's a bit of it's a difficult one because I feel like Instagram is always active and it's always live, but there's never a lot of interaction sometimes, I believe. But, hopefully with more of the content we're bringing and, the consistency of the podcast and, hopefully we can start to build up a bit more. And, whether we go to 2 a week, whether we get to take it with the 1 a week, don't know It depends how much we can fit into our weekly schedules. But yeah, hopefully, within like late end of this year, we can start building up towards that. I think we're just over 700 at the moment, haven't we? So, hopefully at a similar time, I'll be able to reach 2,000 and we can reach 1,000 on the pod. But we roll the punches and hopefully the algorithm goes our way soon.
And your next one, it's funny enough, it's quite ironic time in this one, is get Tosin Adarabioyo on the Top Load podcast. As recording this, in about 15 hours' time, he will be in the squad to face Arsenal, which is quite ironic. And it is to get him on the podcast. So I'm going to stick the picture on here. There it goes on the podcast. But it's quite funny, actually. We're talking about trying to get a Premier League player on who's playing Arsenal tomorrow. It's quite funny, that.
Yeah, I think, it's going to be a difficult one. Us, he's got a very, very busy schedule. So, it would be great, hopefully, getting him back on here after we've beaten Fulham. Otherwise, it won't be much fun for us if we get one here after he's beaten us.
Yeah, what I'll do, I'll take my mic to the game tomorrow and just hold out by his car and interview him.
Yeah. Do a quick 10-minute interview then, and then we'll call that
I'll
quick.
Just take
so
BBC's place. That's what it'd be.
Well, no punishment tonight, so you can't be doing that either.
Oh yeah, I'll stand there with my arms crossed.
Just let the screen keep playing. Yeah. But yes, it'd be wicked to get him on and have a good chat with him and bring some content to you guys from a Premier League footballer that we watch week in, week out. So, but yeah, so that will hopefully be a reality. I'm hoping within the next couple of months. So it'd be great to get him on here. Great to chat to him. So Tosin, if you are watching, come and join us.
Definitely. Like I said, we're going to reach out to him again very shortly. That we've spoke to him before, and he's more than game to come. I was just working out the perfect timing for all three schedules to link up. And moving on to the last three for the both of us. And on the similar lines to my 20 Granit Xhaka cards to get graded, how's the progress on your 20 cards to get graded?
Should wait for some tumbleweed to blow across the floor. None.
Enough, I will put that in the edit, but most likely.
Please do. It's a bit of I'm trying to gauge or trying to get a little group together of stuff I want to get graded. Like I've got the Saliba Deco Auto, I've got the Mosaic Smith Rowe Auto. There is a pickup that I will show at the end of the video that I'm debating sending off for grading as well. Just a few little bits and pieces that I'm trying to sort of collate. Like, if I was to buy a Saka Pitch Kings or a Colour Blast Raw, again, that would go off to grading. So I'm trying to collate a little bunch together that I can send off as a batch, or probably to PSA. So at the moment, we are at a big fat 0. But I'm hoping when we review this, the latter, in the next time we review our resolutions, I'll be having at least 5, if not 10, completed off of that resolution. But
my question is for you: are you going to include the Jack Wilshere Auto in the 20?
Well, no, because I sent them off in November.
But when did it return?
I know they returned this year, but you played devil's advocate. I mean, you could.
What we'd do is when it comes to December the 31st, we'll have that like on the reserve side just in case. Just in case.
Yeah, if I'm like 1 or 2 off, because technically I had the 2 Wengers and the Wilshere. So if I'm like 3 off, we'll incorporate them. But no, I am genuinely hoping that I can sort of group together a good batch of cards and get them all off at the same time and send them all off to PSA. But at the moment, I'm still waiting. Because I think I'm going to wait and see if I can pick up a Colour Blast or a Pitch Kings from Bukayo Saka and get that sent off in a little batch. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not looking good, Brev.
Yeah, well, like I said, me and your grading progress at the moment is zilch, but hopefully it does start to increase. Moving on to my next one, which was open a hobby box or related product. Hit that with the less said the better Stranger Things Zero Call release, which I'm still waiting on Zero Call to get back to me.
Still haven't got back to you.
I'm not out in them, but 12 days ago they said we're updated by the end of the week. Yep, okay. Moving on to the next one. Up to number 9, my one is get new custom stands/mats. That's one a bit of a trivial one that will be done. It's just I'm very undecided in terms of 1 week I want one design, next week I want another design, then the week after that I want another design. So it's just like I can't decide at the moment. So that will be done in the long run. Custom stands. I have been speaking with the guys at Third Down. Probably later this year, there will be a set of custom Granit Xhaka stands arriving. Just I haven't yet decided yet again what design I want. Whether do I go with how they do it, like the shirts with 34 Xhaka on it, or do I want like a cartoon version of him? Yeah, again, up in the air for the moment. Number 9 for you, sir, is finish the 2020 F1 Chrome base set. And I've got a little mark next to this one because I think there has been slight progress on this.
Yeah, there has been progress thanks to obviously our good friend Harry, UK sports car collector, who I managed to get 3 off. So I now have 3 left. It's 3 cards left before I complete the 2020 base Topps Chrome F1. So yeah, I'm very much hoping. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to go and buy them on eBay. Like, I mean, I know they're going for a lot more on eBay, and bins like about £4 or £5 for a card, for a base card, and it's like much rather bite the bullet and get it done. But yeah, I'm 3 away, so I'm halfway to completing the base set. So yeah, I think I'm trying to test my patience and see how long I can go without having to bite the bullet on eBay. But yeah, so I'm 3 off of that. So I have made progress on that. So it's got a half tick off of that one. So yeah, hopefully I can have that finished in the near future. Hopefully in the next month.
And the last one up for you, which I know there's more progress on this one as well, which is a fantastic way to finish for you, is add to the Conrad Lima Stadium Club Chrome Rainbow.
Yeah, so yeah, shout out to MJT, Mossy Miles. We did manage to he managed to grab me the electric to 199, I think it was. So only one, but yeah, added a little addition. Again, a lot of them in the US. We don't really see many of them over in the UK. And if they are, they're like me, where they're making the rainbow. So yeah, added another one to the rainbow for that. So yeah, I'm making steady progress. I'm not jumping the gun and getting them all done by March and then being bored for the rest of the year. I'll keep the suspense up, leave a couple until November, keep the suspense building. But yeah, I'm making progress. I'm getting there slowly but steadily.
Yeah, and the last one for me was to pick up an on-card auto, and I managed to pick up 2 at the last London card show. One was a Hector Bellerin select on-card auto, and the other one was an Eduardo da Silva Timeless Talents National Treasures. So I was very happy with that progress. So obviously, we've just gone through them quickly. Is there any, obviously, like you say, like you've done with the Pitch Kings, like you've added like Color Blast to it. Apart from this list, is there anything you're trying to accomplish within the hobby or achieve by the end of the year, or anything that you're wanting to do?
I think it'd be great to get a couple more YouTube videos out there. Obviously I've got my one posted from London Card Show already, so I think it'd be great to sort of go through a bit of the PC, or sort of get another few videos posted out on YouTube. I mean, off the top of my head, there's not a lot at the moment that I would add to that list, apart from the YouTube aspects. As time goes on, obviously, more cards come out, or I'd love to try and locate one of those Ramsdale and Ben White dual autos from Impeccable, but unfortunately Ben White is still being stubborn and not signing. But no, I think, to be honest, I'd only add the YouTube aspect into it. I think I'm still pretty on my way into sort of going through those 10. So yeah, I wouldn't change or add much more apart from that. But yeah, I need to get those ones done first.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good thing, like, especially with the resolutions. It's quite intriguing to see mindsets over a period of time, how it changes. Like you say, Pitch Kings, you added Color Blast to it. It's just interesting to see like how a year, like especially when you get to the latter stages of the year, how you're collecting changes. Because there might be one you get to like November, you're like, I'm not really that bothered about that anymore, which would be quite intriguing. I think for me, the only thing I would add to it now is probably pick up a bit more Neymar stuff. Now he's injured. It's obviously a good time to buy anyway, but especially him being injured now, won't be really seen until next season. Might be a good time to pick some stuff up. But talking about picking some stuff up, there's a new set that is taking the absolute hobby by storm. And it's a very different set. And I think it captures everyone's imagination from their childhood. Because I do want to get one of these new Disney Pixar cards, especially I've seen a Woody auto, which is just hilarious. But I just love the Toy Story ones. I need to have a proper look at this. So as we were talking about this set, I'm gonna have a look through it to see what other cards are on my want list. But these cards do look really good, and the prices are mental at the moment.
Yeah, I was massively taken back when I saw some of the prices of some of the Mickey Mouse cards that were going. Looking at about $400, and I was like, Disney, really? Um, but no, I was been massively taken by surprise with it. I'd love to get my hands on a Donald Duck. For some reason, I've always been obsessed with Donald Duck since I was a kid. So it'd be great to get my hands on one of those and get it into a break. But yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, I've only seen it realistically on I think Trading Cards UK's Instagram. But yeah, it's absolutely taken the hobby by storm, and it's just one I never really thought would have this much of an impact or this much popularity. But people are buying into these breaks left, right, and center, and the sort of, if you look at it from the flip aspect or the monetary value in these cards is massive. And like I said, you hit like Mickey Mouse is going for $400. I mean, you're laughing. But yeah, it's a really interesting set, something different, something we haven't really seen before, and something that really is not sport rated in any way, shape, or form, which is quite refreshing sometimes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a couple more, a couple more breaks, a couple more pulls, see what some of the possibilities are. But yeah, it's just nice to see something different going on.
Yeah, I'm just flicking through it now, and like I say, some of them are very cool imagery on them. And like I say, some of these, if they're slabbed as well, and you get some of them, they're going to be a very nice card. Probably quite a dangerous set as well, because I think that what I alluded to before was a lot of it kept like you remember a lot of these films, especially like your Toy Stories, stuff like that, that you was a kid watching it and you fell in love with watching them films. And I don't care what anyone tells me, if there's a new Toy Story out, everyone our age still wants to go and watch it. I remember the last one that come out probably 5 years ago now. I went to see it. It was like 4 or 5 weeks after it come out, and it was a late night showing, and the whole thing was full up with adults between like 20 and 40. And I was like, there's no way they're doing this the first week when all the kids are there. They wait for their late showing and then they all go. But like I say, the Mickey Mouse is just iconic. And I don't think people realize just how iconic Disney really is, especially in trading cards. That there's so many characters that are well known. Whereas like, you look at football cards, you're like, yeah, like they're very popular, but Disney is just another ball game altogether of popularity. So imagine if 1% of the world's Disney collectors wanted to get in, how mad that set would go.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm looking at some of these on here now. I mean, you've got on eBay, but there's a 2023 Disney 100 Years of Wonder. Wow, I think that's how you pronounce it. Numbered to 666, £102 at the moment with 1 day left. I mean, it's just like I said, there's nothing really that I thought would ever have this much popularity, and it's cool. Like, I think it's wicked. Like, I really am liking a lot of this stuff, and I think it's got a lot of potential in it, and you're getting a lot of the younger people into the hobby as well from these sorts of cards. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything Donald Duck, but I can't see much. A couple, but
I'm just trying to look for a checklist here, and at the moment I can't find one. The ideal thing is I see a checklist and I'll be like, right, this is great. I can see all the cards, but it's going to be one of them that you're going to have to. Oh, I've just seen a Mike Wazowski. Oh my god, that's great. I see like a hollow $10 at the moment. Like I know, thing is, it's like once the price is settled, they will go down a bit. But some of these are going to look. I'm just seeing that Mike Wazowski, and I'm thinking that in an SGC is going to look unbelievable. It's not the right mindset, but it's going to happen.
that is brilliant.
Oh,
That is brilliant.
Now that's thinking, yeah, Monsters Inc. as well. Oh, it's just legendary.
Yeah, I can't find a checklist anywhere.
That's the thing. I can't find one. So hold on. I'm going to do the. I'm trying to think of someone who's done a break of it. And then the next card I see is a Sully signature card out of 100, and it's got 15 watches at $500. This is mental.
Oh my, 500.
Some of these cards are actually incredible to look at, but the problem is I cannot find a checklist. And no doubt that someone's going to be sitting there with the checklist laughing their heads off as we do this. But it is a great set. I think it's definitely going to go down really, really well. And I think this actually opens up another question to you. And a talking point I've just thought of. Obviously, we mainly deal in football cards or soccer cards in the industry. Outside of like sports, is there any sort like cards? Obviously, now we've got Disney that you've been looking at collecting or would like to see cards of. Like for obviously, I've recently opened the Stranger Things set, which was really good. Is there anything else you'd like to collect? Because obviously, it's now a growing market. And there's been quite a lot of sets out there, like Harry Potter, for example. Obviously, I know that that's very popular as well for the grading community.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different one. So I know obviously previously I was very much into my Pokemon, and collected a lot of Pokemon, and had a lot to do within that side of things. But yeah, apart from that, not particularly. No, and obviously I know I've got a Harry Potter sticker already from his first ever his rookie sticker, if you like. But for me, apart from sports and stuff like that, I've not really had much of an interest into any other trading cards, if you like. I know there's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And your Pokemon and stuff like that. But for me, it's been the odd Pokemon here and there, but I've predominantly just sports. So I don't know about yourself, obviously, but yeah, for me, it's just been predominantly sports. I've not really seen much else. I mean, apart from this Disney set, not really much else has taken too much of a fancy apart from the good old Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's quite intriguing to see like what other sets do work. I also it is related into the actual world of baseball, but I got a Post Malone card, which was really cool and stuff like that. I do like to see something a bit different in terms of just cards related in general. But I think there was a really cool set that I see the other day, which I didn't know existed. It was Upper Deck Simpsons, and there is a Matt Groening auto on card auto sketch of Bart Simpson, which is absolutely out of this world. And I think he actually goes for about 10 grand. And I'm like, oh, well, that's
Jesus.
totally unattainable straight away. So I think some of these sets are really cool. And as I'm an absolute genius, and everyone thinks I am a wonderful film. So anyone who's watching along with this could see on the screen at the moment
Oh, there he is.
a checklist of Disney for us to quickly run through. And what is number 3 on the list, my friend?
Donald Duck.
There we go. So that's what
Bash.
I'm quite intrigued just to roughly run through this quickly, just to see like the actual films and programs in it. So obviously, Mickey and Friends deserves to be number 1. Probably most iconic character in the world is literally everywhere. Little Mermaid, probably one up your street. You're going to collect the little
Oh,
Ariel.
100%, mate. That's a bit of me. I mean, the
Uh,
checklist is massive.
I was going to say Brave. We've only got one card. So some of these I have no idea. Mulan, I've heard of
Yeah.
them, but never. Princess and the Frog. I'm not going to pronounce that one.
Pocahontas.
John Smith. That sounds like a lower league footballer. Frozen. Here we go. This is a good one. Toy Story. And looking roughly at this list already is a good one. So we've got Woody, great. Buzz, yeah. Aliens, my favorite character.
Slinky
Interesting.
Dog.
That will be coming into my collection. Slinky Dog, yeah. Rex, Ham, Bo Peep, Mr. Potato Head, Bullseye, Emperor Zurg, Jesse, Lotso, Ducky and Bunny, Forky, and Gabby Gabby. That is Gabby Gabby does sound like an Arsenal dual auto as well, so that's another good one. But so far, like you can see where this is going to do so well. Obviously, some of like the newer films or anything like that, but Zootopia, I can't say that. Was that Winnie the Pooh? Another iconic set. The Incredibles, another iconic set from childhood. The Lion King, to be
Oh, Lightning McQueen and Mater.
So I know he's going to be listening along to this. Louis L_trade soccer is definitely going to be collecting them. I'm going to message him after this finishes to let him know as well. Coco, Up, Big Hero 6, so Monsters University, which is got to get Sully and Michael Wazowski, Finding Nemo, Bambi. When you actually read through this list, you realise just how much iconic stuff is in this Disney set. Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, Tangled, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Where is the Seven Dwarfs? Hopefully later on the Seven Dwarfs are here, because that's very unfair on the dwarfs. Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, great one again. Aladdin, Peter Pan, Pinocchio, Wreck-It Ralph,
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wally, Inside Out, Luke. Honestly, some of these I've actually never heard of it. Moana, Luca. Another joke coming in there about Donkey, but I'm not going to do it. Ratatouille, another one that I haven't heard of for ages. Raya and the Last Dragon, the Aristocrats, Good Dinosaur, the Jungle Book, another. That's now a legendary one.
Yeah, Baloo.
Oh, Pirates in the Caribbean. Right. So the thing is, though, if it's cartoon, I'm not interested. But I really would want to see a Johnny Depp card. But don't know what's happen. Lion King. I swear we had that one. But it's more the better. Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella. I could scroll down here. I'm getting more and more and more. Jesus Christ. I didn't realise this checklist was as big.
Oh, I got basic now. You're on to silver set now.
Is there any other
Die cut.
Die cuts? Oh God. Classic reunions. Oh, the anniversary stamp. I can already say that's going to be an expensive set. Fireworks.
You got the numbered ones now. Fireworks.
Right, the
100s.
next thing we're going to see is cracked ice, and it's really going to be platinum wonder sets, internal force,
to 20.
signature. So funny enough,
Donald Duck didn't sign. I'm fuming.
I'm going to say, right, everyone scrutinises Lionel Messi's autos. I want proof of someone being live when Mickey Mouse signed it. I want proof that he signed it live. It wasn't. How do I know that Minnie and Mickey Mouse just didn't do each other's autos? That's not on. Sully.
Oh, Donald Duck did sign. He has signed.
I was going to say the aliens have signed. That's very impressive with their 3 fingers on each hand. Very impressive. Oh, gold set. I'm actually quite intrigued to see a lot more of this set coming out. So yeah, I think that's actually.
Wow,
I'm actually
that's
quite
it.
looking forward to seeing some of that set. Even hopefully maybe at London. That could be one of them that you see quite a bit at London, because obviously I know quite a lot of Pokemon guys deal massively in the Japanese market with the Japanese sets of Pokemon. So hopefully, and I'm going to add this as my 11th resolution. I'm going to buy an alien card from that set. He's just my guy. It's my guy. I love him.
That's brilliant.
So, like I say, but that is what we love about this hobby, that so much different stuff. So that's definitely going to be one added to the collection. So you're going to be going for.
Oh, I found the aliens one.
Oh God.
£9.90 from the US.
It's not even too bad.
That's brilliant. To be fair, that is brilliant.
So that is definitely going to be one on my agenda. I wish I knew about these boxes before they hit off, because I probably would have.
And a Buzz Lightyear, 41 from the US.
See, I think this is going to be a great set. Aliens should be one then that it's not the main character, like iconic, but not main characters. It should be a good price. So yeah, I think I know which one I'm going to be chasing: the Alien and some of the more iconic, even just base cards, just to get them in the set. Obviously, Mr. Donald Duck would be the one you'll be chasing.
100%.
Question is though, obviously being a Disney set, Donald Duck is the main one. You're going to try and go for the full rainbow, or you're going to just try and
nice. By looking at price some of these base cards or die cuts, mate, I'm baffled at how expensive they are. Absolutely baffled.
Obviously, coming out this week, the prices are inflated a bit, but I could see that set actually staying at a decent price. So, be intriguing to monitor.
It's one of a kind, isn't it? It's very niche. I've never seen that before in my life. So
the thing is, as well, it's the 100th anniversary of Disney, so it's everything Disney are doing this year is up in price. I've seen quite a few releases of stuff at their Disney Worlds and Disneylands that pin badges are doing like $100, $150. So yeah, so moving away from Disney, which was a great sidetrack, and realizing that I will be picking up a Disney card soon. And the funny thing is, if I actually move out of the way, there is an alien over there. Actually, funny enough, I can actually just do this. I had this one prepared earlier. I actually had this one prepared. So, moving on to our pickups of the week. And someone out of the two of us was stressing because Royal Mail hadn't delivered. Literally, I messaged me and I was like, I'm fed up Royal Mail. And then I received a message about 12 hours later saying, Royal Mail's been. So you might as well take it away.
Yeah. So I've had one pickup and one grading return. So I'm sure a lot of you would have seen. I had my ticket back from the grading club from PSA. It obviously is the Arsenal v Palace ticket where Giroud scored the scorpion kick that went on to win the Puskas goal of the year. Very pleased to finally got that back from the grading club. I believe it took from July last year. I sent it off, so a good 7 months. Obviously, is what we expected for tickets. So, very pleased to have had that back, and obviously back in the PC.
I will
And then the
one thing quickly, just so people do know, if they are thinking about submitting tickets at the moment, PSA have got a special on soccer tickets. Rather than the $30, which it should be, I think it's down to $25 at the moment. So if people are going to send, I'm going to say just raise a bit of caution though, because I think within the next 4 to 5 months anyway, the ticket pricing should come down to $20, $25. But if you are going to submit it, it's a good time to submit now. But moving on to the actual Royal Mail pickup, that section was not sponsored. It was just just skip the mind and it's just come back.
So the one I was stressing out about that finally did arrive as I got home from work this evening is this very, very nice Aaron Ramsdale Mosaic Redemption auto. It's like the auto is completely perfect. The picture on the card is beautiful as well. So was really, really pleased. I've not actually picked up a Ramsdale auto yet, so I was really, really pleased to finally have another nice little Ramsdale auto in the PC, which may potentially be going off for grading because that auto should 100% get a 10.
Another Mosaic auto.
Another Mosaic auto. So I've got Smith Rowe, I've got Henry, and I've got Ramsdale. So, and there's Gilberto. There you go, the matching script. I think scripts is Gilberto, Vela, Ramsdale, Eduardo, obviously still very much sealed with the Panini sticker on there as well. So, that was my main pickup from the last week.
Yeah, no, actually, funny enough, up until today, I had no post all week, and I had 2 little parcels come today, which was perfect timing. And obviously, I alluded to it earlier that I was like picking up a bit more Neymar. I just see this one going really cheap, and I thought I had to pick it up. So obviously, Project 22. It was going on auction, and I got it for £8 plus postage. And I thought, which is £5 cheap or whatever it is, and what it should have been on release anyway. So I think it's just quite a nice, unique design. The only really annoying thing is it rattles around in the top loader, so I'm gonna have to take it out and put in 100. I think it'd be 100 point rather than 130 point. And then the other one was a Neymar as well, which is a bit of a throwback from when he was at Santos back in, I think, 2012. This is. I just remember when he was breaking on the scene with this absolute menace of an haircut. When that was right, when you used to play with him on Pro Evolution back in 2012, it was on the demo, I remember. And he was just a cheat code because he just literally could do anything with it. But they're my 2 pickups for this week. And I think hopefully, I don't know, to be fair, I probably won't have anything for next week. I'm trying to think. I have a couple of things en route, but I don't know when they'll arrive. And then same again for tops. We just don't know when they will start rolling out the Project 22s, hopefully sooner rather than later. It's one of them that it's going to be one of them with the Project 22s. You're just going to get the notification of it being shipped and be like, oh, I forgot about that. Then I'm hoping that because it's literally every week at the moment with Project 22 and Arsenal, that once one ships, about a week later, it should. So at one point, it should be like hopefully like a conveyor belt, and like every week another one arrives, which would be great. But I'm looking forward to receiving, especially now getting that Neymar. I'm looking forward to seeing the Odegaard, Jesus, the Martinelli from this week, Saka's.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's heating up a bit now, getting the hobby. So the last question to end up, and obviously before we actually do talk about a new segment, that'll be actual last week, talk about new segments coming from next week. But how so far do you think the hobby's been doing in 2023? Because it's been quite a similar market in terms of the ending of 2022 going into 2023. But I think I've quite enjoyed the hobby this year from a buying perspective because you've been able to pick up stuff for a slightly better price.
Yeah, I think the hobby has been pretty alive. Now the card shows are coming back into play now, having more regular card shows. I do agree. I think, towards the latter end of last year,
where the market is very much still in the same place in terms of it's more of your £100 and below cards that I think are the ones that are shifting. I think most of the higher end stuff is probably still stuck in a bit of a stalemate. But I think the hobby is going in the right direction. I think it is still growing, it is still alive, it is still booming, and I think only with the card shows coming up, it's only going to get better. We see at these card shows how popular the hobby is and how well it is doing. But I think we are at that point now where it should flick through boxes and those lower end cards that are shifting the best, and it's difficult sometimes to shift some more of your higher end stuff. So yeah, no, I do think the hobby's heading in the right direction. There's a lot of good stuff coming, a lot of good releases coming, a lot of selling as well, which is good. A lot of variety of cards out in the market, just not the ones that I want. But yeah, I think it's very much a buyer's market at the moment. I think you've got a lot of room to cards to pick up, a lot of good deals to be had. So yeah, I think it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I do agree. I think, like I say, for the actual collectors out there, it's a really good market. And what I've been seeing as well, I've been trying to keep a bigger eye on the American market as well. And their card shows seem to be doing really well at the moment as well. High stock, good pricing, and everything. So looking forward to seeing, especially like the next London card show, which is near the end of April, to compare it to the one that's just been and see if there's any difference. But to finish off, I'll let you introduce our new segment, which will be debuting next week on episode 55, which you have to pay close attention to the Instagram.
Yes, so we are introducing a new segment, which will be going by pickups of the week. So I'm sure if you are here every week, you will know me and Ronnie go through our pickups on every episode of the pod. We now want to open that up to all of you guys to submit your pickups of the week, which obviously me and Ronnie will then create a top 3 of those submissions, and obviously go through them on the pod every week. So we thought it'd be quite a good idea to open the floor up to you guys as well. I'm sure you're pretty bored of just seeing what we pick up, and it's just the same old Arsenal or the same old, F1 for me, Gasly, etc. So we thought we'd open the floor up to you guys and see what pickups you guys are picking up, and sort of, essentially send them into us, submit your pickups, and then obviously we'll make a little top 3. Obviously whether we make a top 3 for me and a top 3 for you, or as a collective, we decide our own top 3, which we'll then talk through on the pod. So a nice little prospect we've got coming forward, and hopefully we get you guys involved a lot more. Looking forward to seeing what everyone picks up every week.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anyone is watching along on Spotify, YouTube, Spotify, there is a thing now below that you can leave a comment or ask a question. So please do leave your questions below there, because we're always intrigued to hear your questions, and we'll do a lot more going forward on viewer interaction. So do pay a very close attention to our Instagram. 48 hours to 72 hours before recording, there'll be posts going out of your pickups and also any questions you've got for us, and if there is a guest, joining us for the guest as well. But like I say, it's been another fantastic episode. Been a really good one to recap the year so far. Look at the new Disney 100 Years of Wonder set, and just in general, just talk about the hobby. And like we say, we're looking forward to bringing you a lot more going forward from episode 55, where hopefully we'll be joined by a special guest. And also in the long run, a load more guests are planned, and just in general, a lot more people within the hobby. So, as to say from me and Harry, please make sure if you're on YouTube, do drop a subscribe, leave a comment, and press the like button, because that helps us out massively on the algorithm there. And like I say, we've just seen our numbers on Spotify as well, which have been doing incredible. So thank you everyone out there for listening along. But most importantly, I hope everyone out there is staying well, enjoying the hobby, but most importantly, happy hobbying, and good night.